guys, it's November 15th. I'm Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop, and I have been busy sewing in my sewing room. So I have tons of stuff to show you today. And we have a busy live stream, so I'm just going to get started. So last year, Fig Tree had a collection called All Hallows Eve, and she did this beautiful pattern. It's called Halloween Fig Sampler, and she wrote it as a block of the month. So when you look in it, and the inside, she has all the SKUs listed and then all the info. Well, it's a really big pattern, and inside the pattern has 12 segments. Well, I wanted to sign up for it, so I did. I signed up for it, and I hadn't started it. And then Moda decided, because all of you guys wanted it reprinted because you couldn't find it, that they're going to reprint it. So we're going to offer this block of the month again. It's going to start June of next year. It finishes at 66 by 72. And I started making all the blocks. So I'm a member of the block of the month now, but if you want to do this in the future, you can. But I'm going to show you all my blocks. It was so fun. I got all of this done on Saturday, part of it on Friday night. And I'm just going to randomly show you my blocks, and then I'm going to have Lily zoom in a little bit, because I'm just going to show you my small blocks first. I did starch all of my fabrics, so if you get the block of the month from us, you should have plenty of fabric to starch. So part of my Friday night was just starching everything and getting it ready. So I had a lot of fun making all the little blocks. These are the little ones. And so what I'm going to do is every time I get my block of the month, I'm going to sew the blocks and show them to you. Now, I will say this is for an advanced quilter. This is not for a beginner in any way. This was kicking my little booty. It is not easy in any way. So those are kind of the medium blocks. And so it has kind of a small, medium, large blocks. This one is one of my favorite blocks ever. Joanna puts this in a lot of her designs. You'll notice. She put that in our designer mystery one year. This one was easy. Okay, so this is the one. This is the one that I just don't know that I ever want to make again. I just don't know that this should ever be a thing. Okay, so I'm going to show on the back. The biggest thing that I found, can you zoom in a little bit, Lily? The biggest thing that I found, I looked at the quilt, and because all of the blocks touch and there's really no sashing, you really have to press open. So I pressed open every single block. And this is also another block that I would love to never have to do again. So that is my Halloween Figs block of the month. So if this is something that you wanted to do and you missed, you can sign up. You know, if you're an advanced quilter, you can get this done pretty quick. I started Friday night, and I think I did like 1 or 2 blocks, but then I spent the time starching. But all of this was done on Sunday. Now, of course, I spent a long time doing it, but it's for an advanced quilter. I love that it is very scrappy. Now, we do have to talk about applique. There's a lot of applique in this block. So I'm going to attempt it. And I tried out a little technique I'm going to show you in a little bit that Lori thinks I can do. So I am gonna do the applique in this quilt because I want to be able to sew it exactly like this so that we can put a real photo on our website instead of a digital image. But yes, it was really fun, and I love working with the colors because, you know, I use pink and aqua and white all the time, and I don't really have like a Halloween quilt, so I know exactly where I'm gonna put this to decorate, and I love it. So if y'all have any questions on that, let me know. But I would say, like, if you're my biggest thing is press open. When I pressed open on this one, I put my stitch length really small, like 1.2, 1.3, and unstitching it was really tough when I made a mistake. But I think it's going to really hold the quilt together. So I'm pressing open, doing a really small stitch length. I, of course, cut some pieces bigger and then trim down. That's kind of the way that I do things. And we put plenty of fabric in there to do it. But if you're an advanced quilter, you won't have any trouble. If you're intermediate, I would say, if you want a challenge, do it. Some of the blocks are super easy. Some of them, oh my goodness, I was like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I made them bigger, like when there was an hourglass, I always cut mine a 1/4 inch bigger, trim down. I use some triangle paper, so anything I can do to save time.
All right. So we have one question from Deanna Chrisman. How do you starch your fabric? She says, hi from Missouri.
Hey, So we have a video, and we can link it below. I basically get starch, and I have changed my starch. Do you think one of the starches I use is here, Denise? We're gonna see if it's here. I had to change the brand this year, but I starch it, I soak it, and then I put PVC. Is that a PVC pipe? Not that one.
Yes.
It's not that one. PVC pipe, yes. And I put it on a bathtub and then let it, or in my shower, I have a big shower rack, and I just let it dry, and then once a week, nope. We don't have it. So once a week, I will run the shower and run the bathtub and just get all that gunk out. It's in a bathroom that only my in-laws use, and they only use the shower. So before they come, you know, obviously we clean it and all that so that they don't slip or anything. But yes, I starch. I don't think that, like, I mean, this block is like, I mean, they're stiff. These are like real stiff. And you know, once you get it quilted, it is all gonna it's all gonna quilt out. Like my next project I'm gonna show you, I starched just like that one, and it quilts out.
And then we got a couple of super chats while we were talking. So the first one is from Debbie Chips for $4.99.
Thank you.
And she just gave us a super chat. So thank you so much, Debbie.
Pinky
so
says hi.
Yeah.
Pinky says thank you.
He always says thank you. Okay, and then the next super chat is from Steph B for $1.99, and she says thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steph B.
Yeah, I got a ton done this week. Next week, I don't know about that. We'll see.
And then our last super chat here that we've got was from Virginia Bovier. She said it's for $5.49 Canada dollar from Virginia Bovier. Thank you, Virginia.
Thank you.
And then we also had a new YouTube member at the beginning of the live stream. Welcome, Wanda Q. And she said, thank you from Georgia.
Yay,
So
we're
you,
all
Wanda.
from everywhere today.
That's great. Okay. And then we do have another question from Marcia Sturk. Says, what size does it end up being?
66 by 72. And it is broken up into 12 months. And what is great about how she wrote the pattern is when you get the pattern, inside, I'm not going to show you the pattern, but they're all stapled into sections. So like if you want to do, you know, it's easy. You can, it says, block of the month, month 4, and then when you get the block of the month from us, there's a sticker on it that says month 4, and the fabric's in there, so you could fold the pattern in half and put it with it, but you get the pattern in the first month. But it's very easy because of the way she stapled it. If it wasn't stapled, it would be a little bit harder. So another project that I did is, okay, I got a new little side table in my sewing room, and it holds all my DMC and all my cross stitch. And it's the perfect size, but because it's new, I don't have any table runners for it. And I do try to keep my sewing room kind of, because it's small enough and there's not as much to decorate, I can like decorate that room perfectly. The rest of the house, I don't know. I'm not the best decorator, but I made I used the Crazy 8 paper. I think we forgot it, or I forgot it. I was supposed to bring it. I forgot it. So Crazy 8 paper from Lori Holt. We'll run and get some. So there's some Crazy 8 paper that she came out with, and I made a table runner with her autumn fabric. And it's for autumn, and it's super cute. And I loved how it came out. So there is a video on how to do it on our YouTube channel. We can link to it. But let me show you what I did for Christmas. I took the Sweet Christmas layer cake, and I haven't trimmed it down. This is how my quilter, I like my quilters to leave the batting on. So I just got it back yesterday. Mike quilted it for me. I finished it on Monday, and Mike is at mylongarm.com. And so I used the paper. I trimmed down to 6.5. The way she writes the pattern is 8.5, but I use 6.5 because it will fit my table better. And then you can see the little snowman smiling at you over here. He's so cute. And so what I decided is we have these panels. There's 2 of them.
Sweet and swell.
Sweet and swell. I forgot the swell. I think I just forgot a big old stack of stuff in my cart. That's okay. We're just going to forget that for today, and forgive me. But a Sweet Christmas, in this panel, there's a big, can you zoom in, Lily?
Yes.
There's a big snowman, but then there's a little snowman and then a label. So I took this little man, and I cut him off. I have there's a sweet Christmas kit that I got. It's in my sewing room, and I've been sewing it. So I took I'm going to use this on the big one, but I had this one left over, so I cut him, and I'm going to show you. I had to call Lori for her to walk me through how to do it, and she was like, Kimberly, it's on your channel, you should know. And I'm like, I know, can you walk me through it, please?
That's great.
I'm that person that has to call her on a Sunday night. So I did it incorrectly. I'm going to show you how I did it and tell you how you should do it.
Okay.
So first of all, I didn't think I needed to use her sewing interfacing. So I didn't think about that. I thought, oh, I'll just cut out my panel a 1/4 inch away, and then I will so I thought, oh, I'll cut it a 1/4 inch away, and then I'll needle turn it under. Well, then I emailed a picture to Lori, and she said, you can see through that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You need to use my sewing interfacing because you can see through the fabric. So I said, okay. So I got her sewing interfacing out, and there it goes. So then I sewed I sewed right on the line, and then the next image is where I trimmed it, and then I flipped it out. And we do have a video from Lori on our channel on how to use it. And so that's it. But you basically should not cut. You should sew and then cut the panel and the interfacing at the same time. But I didn't know what I was doing. And the one thing that I use is when I applique, I don't applique much, so I don't have very many supplies. But I use these little Clover applique pins because they're very stubby. They're short and they're stubby, so you can like go like that, and it's not gonna it's gonna warn you before it pricks you, if that makes sense. And then I just use some 80 weight Aurifil thread, and I use the black gold applique needles. I do like the Clover black gold needles. So I had all that in my stash. So basically all I did was get a layer cake and made it, and then I found this. We don't have this in stock anymore, but I found this from last year. We're kind of low on all the fabrics. So I put Santa on the back and Snowman on the front, but I thought that was cute, and it's just I did this in 1.5 hours. So that was fun. So if y'all have any questions about that, let me know, but I'm super excited. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to put a red solid on the binding. I was trying to find a binding, and I think a stripe would be too busy, and I think I'm going to go with 9900-16. I'm going to see if it matches and get that binding on. And I'm so excited because I'm not going to decorate for Christmas until me and Kevin, December 10th. No, really, we have Black Friday, all that stuff. So, but I will decorate my little sewing room.
Yay!
So.
Okay. Well, first of all, Teresa says, really proud of Kimberly for stepping out of her comfort zone and doing the applique. I think all of us are really proud.
I know, and then I did have to call Lori. I was like, well, I don't remember. And then she was like, Kimberly, there's a video on your channel. I was like, I know, but it's Sunday night at 9 o'clock, and I don't know. And so I was like, can you just walk me through it?
That's great. So for those of us who don't have Lori's number, we can go watch the video.
Well, I was going to straight up applique it down, and I had actually started, and then I had emailed her, and she was like, Kim, you can see straight through it. And I was like, well, it'll be okay. She's like, no, it won't be okay. You need to get my stuff. I know you have it, because she sends me all her stuff, even though I sell it. She sends me gifts all the time. So she's like, I know you have it because I sent it to you. So I'm like, okay, let me go get it. So I did, and then I was like, I don't know, it's not gonna look right. She's like, just do it, and I did, and it saved me a ton of time.
Yay. Okay, and then we had a question from Goose. She says, do you have the backing and finishing kit for the Halloween fig quilt?
So the Halloween Figs block of the month is going to be a block of the month, and it's going to be a 12-month program starting next June, and so you would sign up now. Now, the reason I have it is because we had this program and we sold it this year, and I signed up and then we sold out, but then Moda decided to reprint, so I thought, well, that's motivation for me to get it done so that we can have a quilt on the front, and I would have made it anyway, but I'm super excited I got caught up all at once.
Okay, and Beverly Ann says, hi from Missouri. Can you say which pins you use? I recently bought some pins that don't want to go into the fabric easily. Thanks.
Okay, I wrote it down. Clover 4973. I've had these for probably 10 years. They are very short. So, very short. and they're sharp but not too sharp, and it's good so that when you're appliquing it down, you don't the other pens I have are really stubby. But this is probably literally the only applique supplies I have. Is I have like some 80 weight. I mean, this is what I have for applique. And then Lori's interfacing, which of course, I think I just left a box in the car. I've had one of those weeks. Y'all can probably understand.
Okay. And then we had a super chat from Love Pugs for $1.99.
Love Pugs?
Love Pugs. LUVPUGZ. Pugs.
Okay, I have to tell you guys. I'm going to show it to you guys too. I have had one of those weeks. Let's just say that. I'm sure y'all can all relate. I got sucked in by a Facebook ad yesterday and bought a pug Apple. What do you call those things? What do you put on your phone?
Oh, the
phone cover.
The phone cover or the
phone protector
socket?
No, the
just
protector.
the phone cover. Yeah.
Phone cover. I bought a pug one. It's coming.
Oh my gosh.
It's pink.
And Love Pugs said, well, first of all, thank you to Love Pugs, and they say I have 2 pugs, 1 black and 1 fawn.
Yeah.
Aww.
So Kevin's friends have one. Have 2 that are like that too. It's a little boy and a little girl.
And then we also have in our Facebook comments, Kate has asked everyone to comment if you've decorated for the holidays yet or when you're planning on doing it.
I know that's super exciting because, like, I would love to do it now, but Kevin really likes, he wants to get through Thanksgiving, so I totally get it. And so I can I'm gonna have one room this Christmas.
Okay. From Gigi Odom, are the Collins glass head pins still available?
Yes, they should be. If they're not, Collins Glasshead.
Those were
Discontinued is what, so that is the brand that a lot of stuff is discontinuing, right? Okay, so Collins is a brand, am I right, Denise?
Yeah, you're right.
So Collins is a brand that about a year ago, Checker, who is where we buy a lot of our notions, let us know at our walkthrough at Market that a lot of Collins was being discontinued and they were going to focus more on a different brand of their stuff. So that item was discontinued. And so, for example, C103 was my needles forever, and they discontinued them. And so then we basically emailed and said, hey, what is your closest product? So I was sad too.
From Christine Baker, what type stitch did you do around the snowman to tack it down?
I did a very tight applique stitch. You can't see it. I just did a little, maybe every 1/8 of an inch. And I really did do this entire project, not including starching, in an hour and a half. So what happened Sunday was, obviously we have a new website. We're going to talk about it later. But Kevin worked all weekend. And when I say all weekend, I mean all weekend. So I have 4 kids and they had to be at all these different places. So Emma had to be picked up at 5 at dance, like right at 5. And the boys had a birthday party from 4 to 6, but all the way on different parts of town. Like, I'm talking 40 minutes apart. So I got to the birthday party early and I told the mom, hey, we can only stay for like 30 minutes because like my husband's working. And she was like, oh, I'll keep him and I'll take him home. Oh my gosh, that's how I got that table runner done, because I went and got her and then went home and I got the whole table runner done, except for the applique. And then when I went to pick them up, that's when I was calling Lori for applique advice. And then my little boy said, does she work with you? I was like, oh my gosh, kids, how do you not know who Lori is? Because Emma knows who Lori is, but my boys, they have no idea. It's so funny how they don't know what I do for a living.
That's funny. And let's see, Gigi Odom says, which pins are you currently using in place of those?
232 by Clover.
232 by Clover.
Thank you, Floss Whisper.
Because Denise knows. Denise has like one of those ironclad memories.
Yeah,
when I
she
need
does.
something, I just call her. Okay, what's this? Because, I'm a little bit older and I don't remember.
And then a couple people are asking if you could just show the snowman one more time.
Oh, yeah. He's so cute. And then we do have the panel. This panel from last year was reprinted in a Santa Claus. So you could do the same thing with Santa Claus, sorry. Denise is laughing at me because I can't remember. I can't even remember Snowman Santa Claus.
So cute.
I know, and so it's perfect. It fits the table exactly. And I had Mike do snowflakes because it's very Christmassy. And one thing that I do, I'm super weird about it, but So there you can see the pantograph. I really only, when I get my stuff quilted, I only want white thread. I don't want variegated. I don't want colored thread. That is like, okay, you know how everybody has like a trigger? Oh my gosh. If somebody took one of my quilts and put colored thread, I would probably faint. And so I cracked up because Mike said white thread, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've never used anything but white. So yeah, but thank you, Mike, because he got this done. And then I'm gonna bind it. And a lot of times I'll do this. I got this idea from Lori. She uses pool noodles. Pool noodles. I'm like, duh, Lily, what is it? She uses pool noodles. But if you roll your quilts, you're not gonna have a crease. So I'll just keep it rolled until I get my binding. We'll have to find that today.
And then the last thing here I was seeing was we have a few new people joining us today, which is awesome. Welcome, everyone. And I'm getting some questions about Super Chat. And basically what a Super Chat is for us, I know some people in the comments were trying to help each other out. It is a sort of donation to us. And really it's all that money goes towards helping with our video production here. So like these live streams require a lot of like software and hardware and microphones and people and cameras. So to be able to output this live stream, we need a lot of like funding behind it, and that's where all your super chats and channel memberships go. So for those of you wondering about that, that's what that is. And then question here from Rebecca Sewing says, I just joined the chat. Did you do raw edge or did you turn under the edges on the Snowman?
So I used Lori's sew-in interfacing, stitched right on where I was going to turn it under with a not too tight of a stitch. I did have to make my stitch length go up because I use about a 1.5, and when Lori was like, no, that was years ago when she taught me. You don't want it to be too tight. You just stitch right on the line, trim a 1/4 inch away, pull it out, and then I use just like my fingers, or Clover has like a little tool you can use, pull all my seams out, and then I just put it down with my applique needles, my applique pins, and then applique it. And then we can link to the video that Lori does on how she uses it, because she's the pro and she knows how to do it very good.
Okay, and then we just got a super chat from Amy Kaminsky for $4.99. She says, thank you for everything. You make my Friday mornings.
Thank you. And I do want to give a big thank you to Gabriel, who sent me this cup.
Oh, go Gabriel.
He sent me, okay, first of all, I didn't know that Starbucks had custom cups. I didn't know. What? And he sent me a text and was like, look, I bought a cup. I think he was just seeing if I liked it. I was like, oh my God, where did you get it? And he was like, oh, I'll send it to you, because he works at Starbucks. And I said, well, I could go get it. And he was like, no, it's like a one-time thing. So I didn't know that Starbucks had one-time things like this. And so then I went to my Starbucks and I started looking, and they have the cutest, I'm not going to say what because I don't want y'all to buy it and send it to me, but I saw some stuff in there. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to buy this. And then it's going to be so funny when I go decorate my tree with some Starbucks ornaments, because then Kevin's going to be like, why do we have to have Starbucks on that tree? It's going to be so funny.
Okay. And then in response to Gabriel's question, we will answer that at another time.
Okay, so Farm Girl Vintage 2 is a sew-along we're doing with Lori Holt, who we just talked about. This is one of her books. It's probably like her 6th or 7th book. And we're doing Farm Girl Fridays, and so that's the hashtag. And we're on week 3. And Teresa made these, and big thank you to the person who told her that this row was upside down. She fixed it. And then for this week, week 3, we have Cheerful Tulips, and Busy Beehive. And I love all the blocks you guys are making, all the fabrics you're using, and we have some shout outs for that at the very end. So thank you for stitching along with us on that. And then I wanted to let you guys know that I finished my Sunday best quilt. So for all of you new people, new joiners, Corey Yoder and Sherri McConnell wrote this book. It's a super cute book. It has lots of different blocks like stars and log cabins and courthouse steps and hourglass and all the wonderful sampler-ish type things. And so they put together a sampler that they're hosting on their blogs. So you would go to their blogs for their information. Again, Corey Yoder, Sherri McConnell. You do need the book to reference for the sew along, but I'm going to show you my quilt. I'm going to send it to Gina today. and it's all finished. And then she's got a busy schedule, so I told her, don't worry about when you get it back, but when she gets it back, then I'll show it to you. So this is the last time you guys are going to see it for a little bit. So this is the top. And they do have an option where you can add a border. And the border information is on Sherri's blog. I decided I liked it without the border. It's very big, guys, so sorry. But it is very big. And I'm just going to keep going and show you each row. Or show you the bottom. I'll show you the bottom. So I got it all finished. So I'm super proud of myself. Yay!
Confetti cannon for Kimberly.
And it's going to be ongoing. We're on block 7 maybe. And then my backing. I decided to make a little block in the center that was on the front, but just smaller. And I put a little label in the center of it. So, and it's kind of hard to show this, but there you go. It's in the center, and it just says Kimberly Jolly, and I got the label from Sweetwater. And of course it looks kind of funny there, but it's gonna look really good when it's in the center. And so I have that done, and I'm super excited about that. I was kind of not sure what to do on the binding, but I decided I'm just going to use this print, which is what I used as the gray on the cornerstones, and I think that will tie it together really nice. And actually, Gina is so awesome because she's going to do the binding for me. Thank you, Jesus. Gina is the thread graffiti. If you want your stuff quilted, she does an amazing job. You can mail it to her. So,
all right. Okay. And we had another super chat that I missed earlier from Leanie22 for $10.
thank you.
Thank you. And there's these little things called super stickers that you can put on them. And so she just put this little super sticker that's a pear, like bowing down, saying thank you.
Aww.
I don't know why they've put pears, but I love the pears. They make me happy.
A pear. You show me later.
Yeah, I have to show you. I can't pop it up on screen. Okay, and then we also had a new YouTube member, Momac Thomas. Welcome, Momac. Thank you. And I saw a couple of you asking about updates to the YouTube channel membership, perks coming up. There will be some perks coming up next week. And the latest one was a poll that we did, I believe, last week. So you can vote on that. And like that poll is like actually like we're gonna like act on that poll.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away about what the poll is.
Yeah, we do use that.
Yeah, so you guys kind of get a say in like what's gonna happen here.
Well, I feel like with that one, I feel like when we do the poll, it's like people who actually know us as a company and know me as a person and like know what our brand is. And so when they answer, it's actually people who actually buy.
Yeah.
So I know that sounds weird, but like when they respond, it's actually like it's accurate information for me to go off of, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like we can trust you guys with that. Okay, and Sandra Pennington says, Kimberly, do you know the thread your quilters use on your quilts?
I believe that Gina uses Filtec, FIL-TEC. I think that Mike uses Superior. And one thing that I do that is odd, and it is real odd, and I don't think Mike loves it, but he loves me, so he does it. He has 2 different kinds of threads on his wall. He has like a wall that's like a little bit thicker and then a thinner one. And I always say, can you just use the thinner on the top and the bottom? So he has to adjust his tension. But I really don't like my quilting to show at all. I like my quilting to just like take a back seat. So, but I'm pretty sure, Gina might be in the chat and I think she can answer, but I'm pretty sure that I know Mike uses Superior and I'm pretty sure she uses Filtec.
Peach says that Gina uses Glide.
There we go. Sorry. Peach, how do you know? Oh my God.
Go Peach.
Yes, thank you. I do know that people had asked for Filtec in the past, so we had ordered some. We have a little bit left. It hasn't really sold well for us, so I'm not sure we're going to keep that.
All right. And Ginger Nikaza says, is the backing starched on the quilt you just showed?
No. Should it be? Yes. Did I? No.
That's funny.
But yeah, I always do that. And the reason why I do that is I never wash my quilts. I just don't. I know that that's gross, but we don't use them like on the bed. We use them like sparingly. And if it shrinks, like if I wash it, I don't like the quilt anymore, so I don't even care what it looks like at that point. I know that's just weird, and I have got some people really mad at me when I say that, but it's just what I do.
Okay. From Kay Sanderford, did you use pineapple papers for that block in the Sunday sampler quilt?
I didn't, because it's not the same size as was in the quilt, but if it was the same size, I would have. But they do, in the book, they do have a page where, oh, let me correct you. Let me correct myself. Let me correct myself. Okay, so I did not use the It's So Emma foundation paper piecing log cabin because it's not the same. In the book, there is foundation, like a image, and then we took that image and we photocopied it, because you have permission to do that on, what's the name of her paper? Carol Doak paper. And then I taped it together, and that's how I pieced it. So yes, I used Carol Doak paper because it's thinner, Xeroxed it or copied it, and did that. But I hope that makes sense. I think I said that right, Denise? Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry. I made that block a while ago.
Okay. From Julie Wilson, do you have a video on how to use the crazy quilt paper?
Yes.
It is a previous live stream.
We can link it. Somebody will answer you and link it.
Yes. And then I just thought this was funny. Gabriel Fuentes said, I tell Gina, quilted like you do for Kimberly. But it just reminded me of that quote from Titanic where it's like, paint me like one of your French girls. It's like, quilted like you do for Kimberly.
I have never seen that movie.
You've never seen Titanic?
No.
Oh my gosh.
When I say I don't watch movies, I don't watch movies.
Comment below if you get the reference.
I'm sure everybody does. Lily is hipper than hip. I'm not.
Oh no.
I don't, yeah. Kevin hasn't seen it either. No.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay. No.
And then we got a super chat from Teresa Hubbard for $1.99. Thank you, Teresa. And I see, Teresa, maybe you're trying to donate a different amount. I know when you go to do super chat, you click like this little like money icon at the bottom of your, like where you type in to comment in the chat. And then there's like a little slider that pops up and you can slide it around to choose how much you want to donate. But thank you so much. Like any and all amounts are super appreciated. Thank you guys.
So, as far as new items, we don't have a lot of new because we got a new website, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So we haven't loaded new things. We do have 12 new collections to load. They will either be loaded today, over the weekend, or Monday, depending on technology. But this is really cool, and I really like it. This is Kim Deal's Blush and Blue, and this is a new collection. And we have this as a kit and as fabric. And I believe that Kim Deal actually made this. So we borrowed it for photos, and then this is what she put on the back. And I love this quilt. I'm not sure I would want to make it.
I'm going to zoom in.
But it does, and I don't know the information on the triangle paper or anything off the top of my head. We could call customer service and we can figure it out. But for right now. Yay! So that's kind of what we have new. And then I'm going to do some shout outs real quick. So first I was going to show you a little cute picture of Piggy and I yesterday. So a friend of mine made me this scarf, and it's cold here. So I was wearing my scarf, and Piggy, that we were waiting at his daycare. So I thought, oh, that's really cute. And I put it on his Instagram, and then Gabriel said, oh, that's cute. And I was like, okay, then I'll show it in live stream. So that's my Piggy picture. And then I have some shout outs of just different things that I saw on like Facebook. So this is Debbie Prince, and she turned the Bringing Home the Tree from the Vintage Christmas book into a quilt, and I love her color choices. It looks awesome. And then the next one is my favorite. Oh my gosh. So Donna Sturm posted this, and basically she's saying how her mom said you should display your quilts, and she didn't have anywhere to put them. So her mom found this china cabinet at a restore store, and then she put it in her house, and then she just brought all those quilts to her mom's house and put them in there. I think that is awesome.
It's amazing.
I know. Look at all those quilts, and she said there's more. And then this is Donna Sturm, and this is...
It's the same Donna.
Oh, it is. Okay, Granny's Garden Quilt. So that's awesome. That's all applique. It's beautiful. And then this is Regina Coffee Langford, and this is the 8 carat sew along, and then she added a cool border, and I love her fabrics.
It's so good in those colors.
I know.
Okay, those are...
And then we've got some Farm Girl vintage blocks that I wanted to show you so you could see like how people are doing different fabrics. So this looks very Corey Yoder-ish, which means it's Corey Yoder fabric from what I can tell. And it's by Jessie Anarim. Super cute. And then B Sewin 72. Super cute. And then Brenda Joe's 70. It's funny, the beehives all have gray at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has put gray. Except this one. And then this is GG PSU. And I love how like she's using the same fabrics over and over. So this is a way to make your block where you don't have to use it all scrappy. You can reuse fewer fabrics. And this is Ronnie Bess. Super cute. And then we've got some Perfect 5. So Perfect 5, here's the quilt. Here's my quilt. I didn't want to take it down. You guys have seen it enough. But we have a book. It's the Perfect 5 book. And we have a Perfect 5 ruler. And we're having a sew along where you can take different blocks from within the book and sew it into one quilt so that you get use of all of the book. And we're doing the sew along. All the details are on our blog, which is the Jolly Jabber. So... we're going to do some shout outs. This is the Purple Muse, super cute. And then we've got Laurel Stitchery. And I think those are Bonnie Camille fabrics. And I love that gray in there. And then Corrine CB. And another one from her. Super cute. And then this is Linda Davis Gordon, and these are lots of her blocks. And that is, I believe, Sweet Harmony by Sherri and Chelsea. And I think that's the name of it, and I love it. I love those blocks. That quilt's going to be amazing. And then Christine Vanneman. And Ingrid the Quilting Owl. So I love how there's all different colors. You can do any kind of colors you want. So there's that. So let me know if you have any questions, and then I'm gonna have to end at the 1 hour mark today. I can't go longer because of what we're about to talk about.
Okay. First of all, we wanted to give a shout out to Life So Crazy. She says, tomorrow is my 23rd wedding anniversary, and I get to quilt stitch all weekend. And she put those emojis with the hearts around its face. It's so cute.
That's like a dream.
So congrats, Life So Crazy. Confetti cannon for you. And then from Tammy Renke, Peach Luttrell is Wikipedia instead of Wikipedia because Peach knows everything.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
That's Wikipedia.
Funny. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. She does know a lot about all the things.
Okay, then we had a few super chats. Huge thank you to everyone. From Nancy Rogers, $1.99. She says, love y'all.
Thank you.
Nancy. And then the next super chat is from Teresa Huber for $9.99. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
It's really appreciated, you guys. And the next one is from Julie Beber. Thank you,
goodness,
Julie.
guys, y'all go crazy today.
Yes, and it was for $9.99. Let me quadruple check I'm not missing any. Oh, okay. Let's see, we got Julie. We got another one from Deborah Hunter for $2.99. She put a little pear giving like, it like shakes and then it gives like a thumbs up.
Aww.
It's very cute. And then we had a new YouTube member, Lauren Piantek. Welcome, Lauren. And I saw a few questions about YouTube membership and what that means and with the poll. It's basically a $4.99 monthly paid membership where we just give you extra things like free patterns that normally aren't free, coupons to the shop, exclusive live streams with Kimberly, lots of stuff, and exclusive polls like the one we just had. And all of that, once you join, can be accessed in the community tab, and we can put a link in the chat for that. Okay. And question from Steph B. She says, is the Perfect 5 book as easy to follow as the Perfect 10 book as easy to follow as the Perfect 5?
Yes, they're laid out exactly the same way, exactly the same size, and the same. Sarah Price writes all of our books, and she does all of them, and she is like amazing, amazing, amazing. We could not live without Sarah, and she did all of them.
Go Sarah.
Yes, because I don't do any of it but proof it.
Okay, Gwenna Hicks Dottie says, Farm Girl Friday, is that for book 2?
Yes, but, and so Farm Girl for Friday is making the quilt on the cover. Where did I put it? Underneath. Okay, so, hold on. So Farm Girl Friday is making a combination of 6-inch and 12-inch blocks. So it's for this book. But if you, like for example, if you didn't want to make a pig, you could take a 12-inch block from the other book. You can feel free to do, you can switch it up. There's no rules. So, and that's the whole purpose of Lori's books. She wants them to be interchangeable. That's why there's 6-inch and 12-inch blocks, and why she came up with that idea for her blocks to go in, to be interchangeable within her books. So like you could put something from Vintage Christmas. Maybe there's a star from Vintage Christmas that not everything in that book is Christmas. You could put it in that quilt. And so Lori is just building upon the same principles in all her books so that you can use them within, and you can make it last longer, and you can do more with it. That's her whole, she doesn't want to just have like one quilt and one way. She wants you to just like do whatever and mix it all up, mix up all her stuff.
All right, and we have another super chat from Dawn Loya for $9.99. Thank you, Dawn. She says, always look forward to Friday mornings. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Yay, Super Piggy. And then, related to Super Piggy, Susie Loves to Farm and Sew says, my dog is barking at your piggy icon. LOL.
Oh my gosh, my dog cannot. I swear Piggy is like half blind. He wouldn't even pay attention to the TV.
Well, here's the thing, when you can't hear him, but when he goes on, he's barking.
He
and there's
is?
like a magical like ding that comes on. Yeah, he has sound effects. Yeah, I can show you afterwards, but yeah, it doesn't play on our speakers because then he would like echo. But yeah, so that's why I saw other people commenting like their dogs are like, what's happening? Like, why is there barking? That's what that's
funny.
about. Okay, Christy V, she had asked this question earlier. She says, what's your biggest piece of advice for an absolute beginner? Love your channels and can't wait to shop on your new website.
So I would say start with something small or start with something easy. I would really starch or press. Get everything really nice and flat before you start cutting. Just be careful when you cut. Just take your time. Do something small so you don't get frustrated. You know, my first quilt was this huge, like twin size quilt. I would not recommend that because you just get frustrated because you don't have your seam allowance perfect. So you get, it's more frustrating. So I would say just start with something you love and start with something small and just take your time. Don't rush through it.
And another new YouTube member, Freda Yek. Welcome, Freda. Thank you so much for joining. Like I said, we'll have some perks for you guys next week. Okay, and segue into our next thing here. Candy Kerr says, the new website looks really pretty.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to talk about the new website. I'm going to start with big shout out to Kevin, Matt, and Becky who have been working all night. There was a day this week they worked 26 hours. They worked all last weekend. They will be working all weekend. We will be working. Kevin has not come home before midnight, 12:30 all week. We are working as hard as we can. I know that there are going to be some frustrations. There are some things. This is all a work in progress. So I'm going to go through right now what I know, a statement from Kevin, like all the things, and then I'm just going to address what I know for right now. So the new website is taking 18 months. It's a work in progress. It is not final. So many things are going to be added, fixed, adjusted, and not everything is finished. So I'm going to tell you the things that I know that are not finished. The what's new and the coming soon page. Those are our most popular pages. They're not sorting correctly, and we knew that before we went live. There are certain boxes within the software that we have got to customize for that to work correctly. So I would give us 2 to 3 weeks to get that correct. Kevin has to recode, redo all kinds of things for that to work. That is top of his, or second on his list. The search function. The reason the site did not go live very fast, this was the biggest hang up we had. We pay for different softwares that are plugins to our main software. It blew up twice. We are not able right now to get the big software that does all the search functions in our site without blowing it up. So we're working on that, and right now the search function is not going to work good. It is going to be the search function that comes with our base software. So please be patient. That will be fixed as soon as we can figure out how to fix it. Obviously, we did not expect that to blow up, and it did. It blew up, and that's what happened yesterday, why it just kept dragging on and dragging on. My account and credit card details, 90% has been pulled in. 10% has not. So if you go in and your credit card's not there, just add it. But if your My account is not there, it might have a mistake. Just check it. That's not perfect. It is close. This is a good thing that we're going to have free patterns. So before, you couldn't search on our site how to get to a free pattern. So we have all these wonderful free patterns that our It's So Emma team develops and writes, and Lily films, and we do all this stuff, and you can't find it. Well, now you can find it. So they are all on there. And you can search, like you can search Jelly Roll Jam, and you can just click and download it. So it's awesome, but it's new. So it's not sorting correctly. There's some glitches. We're working on it. It's a brand new thing. Denise is working on it all day today. We're going to try to get it to sort to where like everything kind of sorts together. Right now it's a mess, but it is going to be wonderful. And then those are the main things that we do know. Some things are not going to sort right. We know for sure the what's new, coming soon, and even top sellers is not going to work right. The things that I just said are top of Kevin's list. He is working so many hours that I hope he doesn't fall over. So there is no, he can't go any faster than he can go. Matt can't go any faster. Becky can't go any faster. We are working like 16-hour days. There was a day this week they worked 26 hours. So everything, those things are on his list. Anything else you see, guys, that is not working, like for example, Gabriel sent me some stuff this morning. We're on it. Email elva@backquartershop.com, and then what she's going to do is make a list, and then we're going to send it to Kevin, Matt, and Becky, and then they're going to go in order. Obviously, if it's something where people can't check out, that's first in our list. If it's fixable, they're going to do it right then. If they can't, they're going to add it to their list. But we spend a lot of time on the site. I hope you love it. We're trying our hardest, and I know it was a very difficult week. I mean, we were down a lot of hours, so a lot of orders didn't come in. So, I mean, we have 12 collections to load. It's a lot of things. It was a tough week for me personally. These things are hard. So we hope that you can be patient. I think within a month, it's going to be perfect. But ask me any questions. I've got 10 minutes left because the rest of the day I need to be adjusting, working on the site, doing all the things to make the site look good. I worked really late the last 2 nights, and I can feel it because I usually go to bed at 9, and so I'm like, oh, I need to go to bed. So yeah, I've got 10 minutes.
All right. First of all, everyone's saying huge thank you to Kevin, his team, Becky, everyone. Confetti cannon for them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to them. They're awesome. And then everyone's being super amazing and kind and positive about the website. Linda Gillespie even said, I wish I could volunteer to help somehow. Honestly, the best way you guys can help out is just by being patient and understanding. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and if there's anything, like Gabriel sent a great thing this morning. Like, He emailed it to me.
Yes.
We'll fix it.
Yes.
Like, we can't fix it like at 6 a.m. because nobody's here. And our content team who loads products, they're going to be working all weekend. When you launch a new site, sometimes the spreadsheet that uploads the products doesn't work. I'm predicting that to happen today. We'll see. And one of the people that does all of our things will be on a plane today. So that's going to be difficult. But yeah.
Yeah. So continue to be kind and awesome as always, you guys.
But if there is anything that you see, email Elva. We're going to add it. We're going to have a list. We're going to tackle the list. We're going to be working all weekend except for when we have to have our kids somewhere. But
yeah,
I will be working all weekend.
Yeah, so let's be a team and help everyone out. And then we had a new channel member, Sharon Melton. Welcome, Sharon. And then Sharon also gave us a super chat for $20.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
That is so kind of you, so generous. And everyone who gives a super chat, thank you so much. Another super chat from Nicole Schneider, $10, and she says, hello from Checker, we love you guys.
Oh my gosh, Nicole, hi! Okay, we mailed you a package today for the new thing we want made. Or when did we mail it, Denise? Yes, today it's going. It's one of the things we talked about in our meeting, and I'm super excited.
And then funny comment from Gigi Odom. She says, because the website was down this week, I was forced to use what I already had. My husband sends his love.
Yeah, and you know how I got all these quilts done is because last weekend we couldn't do anything because all the data had started transferring. So I got 3 things done, and that's how I got done. And I got a ton of cross stitch done. So next week, I do have a plan for some things I'm going to show next week, but I haven't started. So yeah, I was kind of in the same boat as you guys. I mean, and it was hard for like a lot of us because we couldn't work because they're transferring data. But it kind of gave us a little bit of creative time because I was sitting at my desk cross stitching because I was like, I got nothing else to do.
Nicole says, yeah, I'm so excited, in all caps, and lots of exclamation points. And then Raphael Guy super chat for $50. They say the new website is so worth the wait. Thank you. Thank you, Raphael. Also, if I'm saying your name wrong, anyone, please feel free to correct me.
She's really good at names, though.
I try. Okay. Do we have anything else coming in? Oh, okay. Thanks for all the good vibes, you guys. You guys are so great.
Thank you. I was so worried y'all were going to attack me today. But guys, I'm going to leave a little bit early today just because I need to get working on the site. But remember, if you have anything that you see that is fixable, email elva@fatquartershop.com. We're going to add it to our list. No, we are doing everything. That means me, Kevin, Denise, everybody is going to be working all weekend, doing what we can. And give us a week or two, and it's going to be perfect. And I'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.